Okay, this video is for lesson 5-2, day 2, problem number 54. So this is 5-2, day 2, number 54. Okay, so that's the lesson we're working on, the problem we're working on right there. Let's make that small enough and put that right up there. Now, here's the thing. When I'm looking at both sides of the equation, I'm kind of curious about this side, and I've got to talk to you about which thing I'm looking at here. So I'm wondering about that side. I'm looking it over, and I can switch it from 1 over cosine squared and 1 over sine squared. But I'm going to start over here on this side because it seems like I can do more play stuff. This one seems like I have to know what I'm going to do. So that's why I'm starting where I am. And I'm going to go look at this as 1 cosine squared x plus 1 over sine squared x. Okay. Now, keeping in mind, I want to get these to be alike, and I'm thinking about the idea that cosine squared x plus sine squared x is equal to 1. So I have that 1 up there, so I'm trying to get the top, the numerator portion, to be like this. So I've got to multiply both sides by, on the first side, I'm going to do sine squared over sine squared. So I'm going to go sine squared x all over sine squared x times 1 over cosine squared x plus cosine squared x over cosine squared x times 1 over sine squared x. Okay, so all I did was multiply by a form of 1 here and here. Okay, now I'm get rid of those. And combine those terms. So now I've got sine squared x all over sine squared x cosine squared x plus cosine squared x over sine squared x cosine squared x. Now I'm going to change the order here because I want to make sure if I look at how I'm supposed to end, I want cosine first. So keeping in mind when I combine like terms now, I now have on top sine squared x plus cosine squared x all over a reorder cosine squared x sine squared x is equal to what I'm doing. Now sine squared x plus cosine squared x is 1. So this is 1 over cosine squared x sine squared x. Okay, now I can break that apart, and if I can you know, make it smaller probably so you guys can see where I'm going for these next ones. So I'm going to squeak that down a little bit so I have some room. And now I'm at this point, I'm going to separate them. So I got cosine squared x times 1 over sine squared x is the same. And now I have secant squared x times cosecant squared x for my finish. Okay, now that's the left side. If I wanted to, I can start it on the right side, but the right side took a little bit of thought, and because I did the left side, I have a better idea on what to do. The first thing is I'm going to have them separated. 1 over cosine squared x times 1 over sine squared x. Okay, I'm going to multiply them together, so I've got 1 over cosine squared x sine squared x. I'm going to reduce the cosine squared x plus sine squared x as 1. So now I've got cosine squared x. Excuse me, I said cosine squared x. Don't know what I wrote. So I've got that, and I've got cosine squared x times sine squared x in the bottom. Now if I split these, okay, if I split them, and I'm going to split the order, because I want to make sure it's right. So I'm going to rearrange before I do my split. And I'm going to have this. Then at my split, you'll see, and you probably already do, I have sine squared x over cosine squared x sine squared x times, excuse me, plus cosine squared x over cosine squared x sine squared x. That really is a sine squared x. The cosines are gone, the sines are gone, and now 1 over cosine is secant squared x plus 1 over sine squared x is cosecant squared x. So that's the two versions of this problem. I hope things are going well. Have a great day.